Hi. I'd like to see Barack Obama become the next president of the United States. And I watched the third presidential debate last night, and I was kind of troubled by what I saw. In that McCain was actually able to win when it came to the issue of the middle class by focusing on that story about Joe the plumber. Joe was interviewing Barack Obama at one of his rallies and told him that he was furious about Obama's tax plan because it was going to increase his taxes. And, ironically, John McCain used that to win over the middle class, even though it's clear that if Joe is rich enough to have increased taxes under the Obama tax plan, that he's not a member of the middle class. I don't know how Barack let John get away with that. It just doesn't make any sense at all. I think in order to win this election, Barack has to focus on the middle class. Everybody understands that America, in order to be a successful country, in order to have the freedom and the prosperity for its people that we want, has to have a healthy middle class. And the question is, why has the middle class, why has the health of it been jeopardized over the last 8 years under a Republican administration? I think if I were Barack, I would create a little bit of a joke that I would tell at every rally. He should start every speech by asking the crowd, what does John McCain say to his wife Cindy when she asks him, what have the Republicans accomplished over the last 8 years, over the past 8 years? And the answer that the crowd should eventually learn to respond with is, honey, we shrunk the middle class. If Republican policies, economic policies, and fiscal policies are so good for America, how is it that that critical part of American society that has to be healthy has been shrinking and dying under their policies? I think Obama has to connect with the middle class. He has to point out to people, Joe the plumber, if he's making more than $250,000 a year and he's going to be paying higher taxes under his administration, is not in the middle class. And even though he's just a plumber, he's not like the average worker in the United States who's making far less than $250,000. So, as far as I'm concerned, in order for Barack to win this election, he has to establish a connection with the middle class and not let John McCain take it away from him. Ironically, even though John McCain isn't entitled to it, because under the Republican administrations that we've just had 8 years of, and under John McCain's plan, instead of spreading the wealth around like he's accusing Obama of doing, he's actually going to be concentrating the wealth, shrinking the middle class, and making the wealthiest Americans even wealthier. How is it that John McCain gets to bond and connect with the middle class when he's shrinking it and killing it? Why doesn't Barack say that? Why don't his strategists call for him to focus on that argument, that it is the middle class, stupid. We've got to have a middle class in the United States. And how is it that Republican policies have been concentrating the wealth in fewer and fewer wealthy Americans' hands, and that somehow strikes a note of identity with the middle class? It doesn't make any sense. So here's the joke, Barack. What does John McCain say to Cindy when she asks him, what do the Republicans have to show for their accomplishments over the past 8 years? The answer is, honey, we shrunk the middle class. That'll get a laugh, It'll get people responding, and he needs to do that over the next 3 weeks.